YouTube, how we doing? Pass the prop back here yet again. We're here talking our best bets. We got best bets for the Super Bowl, New England versus Seattle. Joined as always by my guy Stu. How you doing, man?
Can't complain. It's that time of year. We waited all freaking season, and now we got arguably the two best teams in football squaring off right now. Biggest game of the year. I mean, the whole world's watching. Like, I couldn't be more excited. Got some props for you today, and hopefully we can end the season on a high note here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We told you guys we're probably getting some guests this week, and we got a great guest today, joining by Dr. Prophet. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, man. Appreciate you guys having me on. I mean, like Stu said, it's been a long season, specifically leading up to this game. If you're not excited about this one, you're not excited about football. So I'm really looking forward to it. Bets or no bets, it's going to be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, no, I I saw the highlights that are the Pro Bowl flag football game. I saw, hey, if you pay attention to that, what are we doing, right? So I saw Jamar Chase, little pick six action. I saw him making some moves. It keeps popping up, and I'm like, all right, let's just get to the Super Bowl, man. Let's just get these games going. Let's get this going. The 2 weeks off kind of sucks, but we get to start talking some football and break it down with you. How do you think the postseason has gone so far? Is it going the way you thought, Dr. Prophet? Were you kind of feeling these two teams making it here, or were you kind of surprised with that Patriots run?
I feel like I was definitely higher on the Seahawks than maybe not everybody, but at least like the closer people around me. They seemed like they're counting out the Seahawks. I really like them coming in. The Patriots have surprised me, but solely because I feel we'll get into it a little bit more, but I feel like Drake May has not played like the regular season Drake May. So for that to be the case and for them to still make it to the Super Bowl, I feel like I've been pleasantly surprised by that.
Awesome. Yeah, I know the Seahawks are our darling team. I feel like that's been since the McDonald hiring and everything here. I know we had some futures bets on them. I had them to win the division. I know we should have just damn near took them to take it to the Super Bowl, but I was not locked in, I guess, on that one. Obviously, I know Stu has been pretty high on the Seahawks as well.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, obviously, we started the season. Our first football show of the year was talking up the Seahawks, talking up the Jags. I was hoping they would meet in the Super Bowl. Didn't end up happening. But getting 1-2 when they're big underdogs, when one of them was, like you said, ranked last to win their division under the freaking Cardinals. I mean, it feels pretty good. Obviously, McDonald just showing to be one of the best hires in football. Got last year to lay down the groundworks. This year, a couple of free agency additions. And, man, they just look awesome out there. So it's fun. I mean, it's interesting because obviously this was the year of no Mahomes, right? So everyone was kind of thinking, is Josh Allen going to make it here? But like we talked about multiple times on the show, like we love Josh Allen, but this was also probably his worst surrounding cast in a playoff run that he's had. So we weren't really as high on that either. It's one of those where I'm sitting here going like, why don't I have a Patriots ticket? Because the two teams all year I hyped up were the Texans and the Patriots. And both of them had a shot to do it, obviously, and the Patriots are here now. So good for them. They've had a spectacular second half of the season. When you look at DVOA, their 5 best defensive games of the year are their last 5. They're a March Madness team that is peaking at the right time. And that's an interesting equation. Obviously, when you got a guy like Sam Darnold on the other side, who his highs are really high, and we all know about his lows. They're pretty freaking low as well. So, I mean, I'm just pumped. I think there's a lot of question marks here. When you get your Patrick Mahomes, when you get your Jalen Hurts, who we've seen a bunch of times, for me, it's a little bit less fun because it's a less organic matchup. And I know people will say, oh, we just saw the Super Bowl 13 years ago. But, hey, it's none of the same fucking players. I mean, it's not Tom Brady out here. It's not the Legion of Boom, unless we want to get like Bobby Wagner on a 1-day contract to go out there in his wheelchair. But I don't know. Like, this is fun. These are two teams we haven't seen at this level before. There's a lot of potential for mistakes, a lot of potential for madness. And I just think that makes a better football game when a lot of us at home, we can tell you what we think is going to happen. But at the end of the day, it could definitely go full shit show. It could go full shootout. Like, I just love how many different directions we have in this game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know we had our show on Monday talking about the spread, the total there. I'll get your opinion here, Will, on this. I'll take I know me and Stu are both kind of a little bit leaning more towards the Seahawks in our Monday show. What's your thoughts on the total, on the spread, before we get into props and give some people some time to pop in here?
For the total, I think I'd lean the under and also for the same reason I kind of lean the Seahawks in this one. I feel like it has to catch up with Drake May eventually. Like, he's still playing well, but I don't think he's playing at the MVP level he was. And the Seahawks defense is obviously ridiculous. And on the other side, Darnold didn't play for practice for multiple weeks before coming out in the playoffs. Has looked great so far, but then at the same time, it's like that wasn't a small injury. So not that I think it'll catch up with him, but if it does, it would make the under relatively free when considering how good both the defenses are. But yeah, I lean the Seahawks because last week with the Rams, I was like, Stafford, MVP level quarterback, he's kind of been pissing down his leg on some throws that people are overlooking the last few weeks. It's got to catch up to him eventually. It's kind of what I'm looking at with Drake May and the fumbles and all that stuff. So I just think Stu's touched on it. The Seahawks are peaking at the exact time you want to be peaking. Everybody, for the most part's healthy outside of obviously Charbonnet, which might be addition by subtraction. I think all signs point towards the Seahawks.
Awesome. I like to see that we're all in agreement. I know me and Stu came up with a parlay that went with the UFC bet on the last weekend. So we have Seattle money line at that like a minus 120, even though that was probably one of the sweatiest. Horrible. Why did I bet on a heavyweight, low level heavyweight fight? That is a different story. We won't get into that one anymore. But we got 50 of you guys in here the first 6-7 minutes here. We got Tyrone popping in the chat already. So many people are on the Seahawks attempting to put all the money on the Pats. I feel like I get that. I feel like have you guys seen anybody really on New England? I feel like the line has stayed pretty firm at that 4.5, and I do feel like most of them are on Seattle. It's just, I don't know. It's tough to go with it when you see Drake May playing the way he has these last couple games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but if you tune into like VSiN on Saturday night, which you might actually see me on there if you do, but there's going to be some guy who's telling you what the sharp side and what the squares are on, right? And I think in this game, it's probably the square side is probably going to be the Seahawks, right? For me personally, I don't think you should ever care about that kind of stuff. Like if you have a process, I think you should stick by it. But the way, like you said, it seems like a lot of the general public like Seattle, but we actually haven't seen the line movement move in accordance of that. There's a reason, right? People are keeping the line where it is, right? So, there are definitely people out there on the Patriots. It's just likely they're not quite as loud voices, So it is what it is. It's an interesting, I guess, data point that you can take into account. But for me personally, like, I don't know if you just like if you liked Seahawks in this game, right? You've liked them all year or whatever. You think you have an advantage here. You shouldn't just not bet it because of what other people are doing at the end of the day. But I will bet that this will be a thing people talk about of just like the Patriots being kind of the sharp side that, you're not hearing it from freaking Stephen A. Smith or one of these guys or maybe you actually are more likely to hear it from one of those random dudes on ESPN. But I don't know. I don't let that personally affect my outlook of the game much, but I get why it might, bother some people.
I was surprised to hear you say you think the square side is Seattle because I feel like most people that haven't been watching all season would look and see, oh, Patriots MVP candidate in the Super Bowl and just go there. But I think it was the Mina Kimes show I was listening to earlier, and they were saying the ESPN panel was like 87-11 split or something on the Seahawks, which I like the Seahawks as well. I don't think the split should be that aggressive. But then the question is, like, as much as we want to criticize ESPN, for most of the people there, it is still their job to watch football 24/7.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, is that just because the really smart people all agree that Seattle's a better team? Or is it kind of like Tyrone's saying where it's just, hey, this is getting a little too aggressive. Maybe it should be more balanced out than it is.
Yeah, and I mean, you can always use the Seattle side as a parlay piece as well. I mean, you can get the money line. I think it's still like minus 220, 225 there too if you have other stuff that you want to roll with. But I know everybody wants to throw those bets in on the Super Bowl, right? You want to be there with your buddies, with your friends, and be on the right side, whether it's on the novelty ones or any of these as well. You want to be on the right side. You want to make everybody around you some money as well. So hopefully we can make you guys some money today. Right as now on the season 53-43, we're gonna get damn close to 100 bet mark this year, Sue. We're getting pretty damn close, and hopefully we'll cross that 20 unit mark. Obviously Friday will be our novelty prop show, so we'll make sure that we have more. We'll have more than just two. but we got you covered today with some best bets. Let's start getting this going. We got 62 of you guys in here live with us. We appreciate you jumping in. Let's kick it over to you, Stu. I'll let you start us off talking some bets, because I know people coming on here, they're like, hell yeah, let's hammer some overs, baby. And you know who Stu is. He ain't gonna do that. You know Stu's got to be that guy on one of these unders, and I think he's got a good spot for you guys here.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at my card a little bit earlier today, and I was going like, wow, I hope people don't hate me for this, because obviously, like you said, it is the biggest game, whether you're the betting guy in your friend group, or let's say you subscribe to one of us, and that makes you by proxy the betting guy, right? Because you get our picks and people ask you like, hey, what do you like? That tends to happen a lot. Like, I hope everyone's not out there like, oh, we're on a shit ton of unders this week. I hope I'm not making too many enemies right there. But at the end of the day, it's their job to go put on a fun game, and it's our job to try to find some good bets. And I don't really give a fuck whether it's an over and under, right? So, and honestly, for me, it's actually a lot harder to get to unders, right? Because I think what the checklist you have to go through is just that much tougher. But honestly, in this spot, like it kind of passes like everything I'm looking for, because what I've done this postseason, I faded a couple guys that were all downfield receivers that rely on these high variance, very volatile targets, right? How does Kayshon Boutte win? How does he contribute to a game? What is his role on the team? Well, if you're paying attention to the media, a lot of people are highlighting how good he's been at getting first downs or touchdowns, right? One of the highest rates of either a first down or a touchdown on a catch this year. He's also among qualified receivers of pretty much starting receivers. He has the highest deep ball rate of any wide receiver in football, right? When we're just talking about starters, not guys that are just coming in to do that. So what you're getting, right, is a player that lives and dies on these high variance plays in general. Like the way he wins, the way he contributes to this team is bringing down hard to bring down catches. He's a contested catch guy. He doesn't win with separation much. He ranks pretty poorly in almost every separation matrix out there possible. But what he does is he brings down contested catches, and he's got a guy like Drake May who's been pretty fucking awesome this year, dropping them dimes, and that's obviously a possibility. And I don't want to completely take that away. If you told me you liked Kayshon Boutte longest reception in this game, I don't have a ton of problems with that, because I could totally see him bringing down an 18-yard catch in this game, right? Like I could definitely see it. My thing though is, right, to go over this prop, we need 3 of those. We need not just one hard to bring down target. We likely need 3, because when you look at what Boutte does best, it's the downfield stuff, but he doesn't really do anything else. That's why he's not, a fantasy top, couple round pick or whatever. That's his specialty. That's his niche. It's what he's good at. But let's say the game plan shifts. Let's say we're going against a team that does not allow many of these downfield throws. Is Boutte then running these underneath routes? Are we bumping him to the slot to get, mismatches? No. None of that is the case right here. He really doesn't. And what have we talked about with May all playoffs? Drake May is absolutely not a quarterback that forces balls when they don't need to be thrown. It's why he takes a lot of sacks, right? And it's why we've complained that like Stephon Diggs during the regular season hasn't been the best prop guy, right? Because if Matt Collins is open, if Pop Douglas is open, if Austin Hooper is open, he's throwing to the guy that's most open. There's no alpha on this team that is demanding targets, that's making him, force it into these tight windows unless he wants to. So in a game where you get a Seattle team that's allowed the fewest targets and fewest receptions to outside wide receivers, Seattle plays essentially over 70% to high safety looks, or cover 2, a lot of different variations. They play quarters as well. They play some split safety stuff. But for a vast majority of their snaps, they're going to be in conservative zone looks with the safety over the top and an elite corner in coverage, right? They mix up their coverage stuff a lot because Witherspoon is essentially the most versatile defensive player in the league outside of Emanwari. Emanwari gets so much credit for being a linebacker and a nickel that you forget that, guess what? When Emanwari's up being a linebacker, someone then has to play nickel, and Witherspoon plays nickel, and he's one of the best in football playing nickel. So it's kind of interesting where you're going to get him on the outside a little bit, but you're also going to get Tariq Woolen on the outside. And while we did see Tariq Woolen get a little embarrassed last week in primetime with a taunting penalty followed up by getting beat downfield, I like the Tariq Woolen matchup. Tariq Woolen is fast as hell, and he's 6'4". Tariq Woolen, despite being targeted at a relatively low rate compared to most of these guys, is still 11th in football in pass breakups. He has long arms, and it is very tough to bring down a contested catch when you're 6 foot even against a 6'4" dude with huge arms. So I think Tariq Woolen is going to be the primary matchup on the outside for a lot of these reps. When it's not, once again, it's going to be Witherspoon. He's also been very good at eliminating explosive plays. That's why this team has been so fantastic. And I just think I know a lot of people don't know as much about this defense, but I think the best base to look at it is kind of think of it as like a Fangio defense. Like I think the Eagles from last year is a good way to look at it, where they really make you beat them slowly. They make you march down the field, right? They're not going to like stack the box or anything. If you want to run it for 2 yards, they'll let you take it. If you want to dump it down to a tight end or a running back, they have the highest tight end and running back combined target share in football, right? They'll let you take those outlets. They'll let you take those short passes, but they won't let you beat them deep. And that's what Booty does. That is his whole role on this team, is to go beat you deep. So once again, can he do it once? Maybe. Can he do it twice? Possibly 3 times. For me, I don't think so. You can even look at it in negative game scripts. I played Ricky P under on the same exact prop. They were trailing from the second the game started. He still did not go over this number. So clear passing situations are brutal, right? The way you can at least beat them is kind of run pass, mix it up a little bit. But when you're in a clear passing situation against Seattle, they're just going to take away those deep shots and make you dump it down. And once again, I just think that's good for a Booty under. So hopefully I've been able to win you over if you're looking for the overs out here. I know it's a little bit grimy. Once again, if you don't like Booty, then and what you've heard from this, maybe you go take Hunter Henry over, or you go take Stevenson over or something like that. But hey, I think Booty is not going to have a ton of volume in this game. And I guess if you do want one over, I did actually play a small bet on his first catch to be over 12 yards. So over 11 and a half first catch, because once again, like I do think almost all of his targets are going to be more slanted towards downfield stuff. So that would be the one kind of over I would lean there. But in general, I just don't think the volume is going to be good. So we're taking the under.
I love it. I love it. Any thoughts on that one, Dr. Profit, before we move on to your side of the props here?
I'm always there for Kayshon Booty fade. I think I had one early in the season where everybody hated it because like it was when he was super hot and it was like, oh, May loves throwing to him. And it's like, he does, but he's going to get, if he gets 2 catches for 60 yards, it's still under 2.5 receptions. And that's exactly what happened. So it's like 2 weeks to prepare. He probably gets something nice schemed up for a play or maybe 2. But 3 against this defensive structure, against a defense that's this good, and the specific one-on-one matchup he's going to have, it's tough. It is really tough. And in the Super Bowl, everybody wants to bet overs. The value is generally going to be on the unders. If you just even if you just blindly picked more unders, then you're probably going to be more profitable than just picking overs. That being said, I'm saying this because I'm going to have an over as my pick. There are some good overs you can have. So I can just get into what my pick is then. Is I'm on Kenneth Walker over 2.5 receptions. When Tonga and Williams are healthy for that defensive line for the Patriots, the stats that they put up are something ridiculous. I haven't checked the updated numbers after last game, but before that, I think it was like 2.7 yards per carry, the explosive rush rate of over 10 plus yards. I think they only allowed 1 explosive rush of 10 plus yards all season over a pretty decent sample size. So you don't want to run on them. So when that's the case up until week 10, which is the longest period of time both of them were healthy together, they ranked highest in receptions to running backs allowed. If you look on the season, they allowed the 7th highest target rate to running backs on their routes at, I think, 21%, somewhere around there. The highest is 25% with the Vikings. When both of them are on the field together, that number goes up to 27%. So it beats the highest mark by a pretty big margin. Obviously, Sharp's down, so now he's involved more in the passing game. But even before that, I think it was over in 5 of 8 games leading up to that game. He's had 13 routes in that game, pretty much none in the second half because they were up by so much. And then had 15 last game. With 13 or more routes, he's over this line in 6 of 8 games this season. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity. I think the matchup makes a lot of sense. I really like the over in this one.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis just got traded to the fucking Wizards. What the fuck? Holy shit.
I'm sorry if you saw me smirking on when you were talking, bro. I had to send that in the private chat.
I thought I said something wrong. I was waiting to hear what it was.
With you. I promise I wasn't.
Oh my god!
I just saw the Wizards doing something. I'm like, it popped on my phone, and I looked at Stu. I'm like, oh, he doesn't know yet. So then I sent it in that chat, and then he saw it, and I'm like, oh shit! So I promise, man, I was not laughing at
No, you're good, bro. Trust me, you're all good. What did they get back?
It's not up yet. I don't see.
I don't know.
Oh wait.
Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Brandon, Marvin Bagley, 2 firsts and 3 seconds. What is going on?
You got Russell and Exum and Jaden Hardy too, who's going to Wizards.
I kind of like Hardy. I always liked him as a bench guy. Wow. That's crazy, dude. This is funny because once we did the show, 2 years ago, and it was the Rui trade. I remember that happened for the Wizards. This is way better. We got fucking Anthony Davis. Oh my God. For people that don't know, too, I'm obviously a big Wizards fan. You probably see from the Nats hat right here, but holy shit. I mean, what?
Dude, the Wizards and Jazz just went from bottom of the barrel to like not competitive, but like playoff teams next year with trade deadline plays. What?
Trey Young, Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have 2 new dudes
and Alex Sarr.
Oh my God, that's insane.
And you kept Keyshawn too. You kept Keyshawn George too. So
that's awesome, man. I mean, good. I mean, I like AJ Johnson as much as the next guy, but good luck. You know, I mean, that's. Ooh, this feels awesome. I feel like we won this trade. I don't know. I mean, we'll see how many games AD plays total.
You absolutely won this trade. Oh my, you guys basically just gave up 2 firsts. Like that was it.
No long-term prospects at all. Like wow.
You gave up a 2026 Thunder first round pick. Who cares? A 2030 protected Warriors first round pick. That one might be good. That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
AJ, I think, is the only one that Stu would probably be.
I like AJ.
Good. Yeah, he's good.
Like he wasn't playing anyways.
I was gonna say AJ needs like another year at least still to be good. Wow, we gave up keeping Keyshawn in that is crazy, honestly. Because
that's what I thought I had to go in that before it came out.
I guess just the picks. But does that mean wow? Because Flag is also playing good ball. Like I watched that game last night. Flag looks way better than everyone else out there.
Oh, he's nuts. He's so good.
Wow. Oh my God. What a bomb. I mean, that's crazy.
I know. I don't remember if it was you, Stu, or Will, which one of you guys said what happens if there's an NBA trade in the middle of the show, but hey, there's your answer right there. And it involves one of our teams because I thought it was going to be me because all the stuff was getting talked about with the Bucks, but it's actually Stu. I was not expecting the Wizards to be throwing big trades around.
We need to clip that.
Damn. Yeah, I felt bad there too for a second because I'm like, I was going like this in the middle of your talk. I'm like, no way. I'm like,
oh, you should have cut me off immediately. You should have just yelled it.
I sent it in the private chat because I'm like,
I see it now.
Oh, Stu, look, and then I saw his face. I'm like, okay, now he knows what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say, I saw Justin making faces, and I'm like. I was just on Twitter to like retweet the show again, and I didn't see it, right? And then I see doing that, and I'm going, okay, he wouldn't be doing that for no reason. So I reopened Twitter, I see it again up there, and then I'm like, wait, do I stop the show or like do I let you?
Yeah, I didn't want to cut you off because you were locked in the zone. So but yeah, I had to make sure I put it in there, or else I knew somebody else would see it here quick.
That's nuts. No, that was probably the best way to drop that on the stream.
I'm gonna be on cloud 9 for the rest of the day. This is sick. I mean, hey, Wizards contending. This is awesome. You know,
you guys still get to tank the rest of the year because Trey's still out and AD still out. You can get one more nice pick and then be like, oh, we're good next year. Enjoy.
Oh, 100%. We're gonna be top 5. We're gonna be lottery. I mean, that's fun. Add Peterson to this crew or maybe Boozer. Little off-ball shooting there. I mean, man, this could be awesome. So
you get Sauer and AD. That's gonna be a lot of blocks. A lot of blocks.
Wow. Wow. Well, I mean, that's just awesome. All right. I don't want to get too stuck on this, obviously, Super Bowl show and the freaking biggest football show of the year. But I mean, holy shit. That was.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd follow up my pick. I don't know how I go into betting here on one of my picks after that. That's like a high. You don't really, I don't know how much higher we can go,
Fair. Well, I will throw in one thing about the Walker, if you don't mind sticking on that, because I like it. And I was going to pitch you what I was looking at betting. I was thinking over 1 first quarter yard at plus 125.
Receiving yard or total?
Yeah, receiving yard. Not total. Yeah, I mean, come on, that's like a 365 boost. I mean, like, come on, that's not. Yeah, 1 receiving yard, you're getting plus money because, right, Kenneth Walker, what keeps him off these passing downs is like the pass blocking, right, and that even keeps him off some 2-minute drill stuff, right. So when I'm trying to think of his targets, and when I've actually bet this a solid amount during the regular season with the first quarter, it feels like it comes like really early to try to create space for the running game, because when you're going against such a good line, I don't like my first play of the game would probably be a screen, maybe first 2, you know what I mean? Like, let's immediately make them respect this. And then we go with our more traditional running game to catch them off guard. I just feel like, and no Charbonnet anymore. So it's like Holani's only coming in on 3rd and, like 10 plus or 2-minute drill, so I feel like kind of the early stuff could be sneaky for Walker.
For sure.
I like it, especially with the Patriots. They've been blitzing a lot more lately. If you spread them out earlier, you're kind of daring and be like, hey, if you blitz, we're going outside, and it makes them second guess at the rest of the game.
And they did the same thing against the Rams earlier in the year when Kenneth had like a 26-yard catch or something on like the first drive of the game. I keep going back to that as like you said, 40% blitz rate in the playoffs. You see them bring that extra guy down, motion Kenny off to the side and just quick dump down, or even a chip and release kind of thing as well. So I like it. I think they're going to have to. I mean, Darnold they're going to have to get the ball quickly. And it's like Walker or Barner. And Barner has like 1 good game all year, which I know he gets a lot of love, which he deserves. He's like a good blocker and stuff, but it doesn't actually translate to props like very often,
Yeah, you might just need to do the touchdown and hope he gets that little tight end sneak thing they keep running, bro. They just keep doing that thing.
I fully support that. I bet.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that might be the only way I can bet Barner is to get that touchdown equity in there, just in case you get that little whatever. I don't remember what they called it. They have a different name for it, like the I'll have to look it up, but I remember them. Everybody kept talking about it as like Barner getting the tush push in there, and it had a weird name. But yeah, let's get into the last one. I got number 3. Like I said, it's kind of hard to come out after a blockbuster like that, talking some Wizards basketball in the middle of Super Bowl week. Who would have thought? But I'm rolling one of my combos here. Minus 130. Drake May 25 rushing yards with JSN 6 catches. Absolutely love this spot, man. We got Drake May facing off against Seattle's front 7. Obviously, tough matchup there. But I was kind of digging through some of these matchups, and we're seeing a lot of these quarterbacks have success running the football, right? I mean, you can go into, Cam Ward having 37 in one of those. We saw Brock Purdy hit it once in their back-to-back weeks where they played each other. Obviously, the one time he didn't, they were getting smoked. I think they got absolutely smashed in that game. But then you look at, some of these other rushing ones where it kind of brings the numbers down. I mean, end of the year, man, we saw, Stafford twice. Stafford really doesn't run the football that much. They got Phillip Rivers. Well, no shit. You ain't going to have him run the football. That dude's dust. And you go down and we got the Falcons with 17 Achilles later, Kirk Cousins, and Max Brosmer. Those are the quarterbacks, bro. And then you go, Cam Ward gets there. Bryce Young gets there. Bryce Young even got there on these dudes, right? And I just think that, Drake May's been getting a ton of carries. I also mentioned before stream to these guys, if you have DraftKings, I don't mind the rush attempts. I think at 6 would be a decent parlay piece as well, but I really like Drake May rushing in this spot. I think we see him having to make the plays here with that pass rush. And you kind of have to put it on his shoulders in a spot like this. And then going over to the JSN side, I was absolutely baffled to, I know people talk about, how bad the schedule was for New England. But I went through their schedule and I'm like, how many of these dudes are actually, playing as number 1 receivers, like top 10 receivers? And we had Tyreek. I'll give you Tyreek in that second week of the season. He ended up getting there, right? You get Tyreek there. Olave gets there. Drake London smoked these dudes for 3 touchdowns. right? And then you look at all these other matchups for him, and I'm like, none of these dudes really have number one receivers in a lot of these games, right? I mean, the Jets, Garrett Wilson was out over half the season. They had to face the Bengals with no Jamar Chase. I'm just going down this list. I'm like, damn, they have really not faced that many alphas. And when they do, and I'm even being pretty loose with alpha with Zay Flowers, that dude smoked it too. He had 7 catches in that game too. Like, I'm going down this list of like good receivers that they've actually had to play. And every single one of them that you look, top 10, top 15, they're all getting to 6 catches. And I would say JSN's better than every single one of the guys that I just mentioned, like Olave, like London, Tyreek, before the injury. Every single one of those, right? I'm looking at it. I'm like, they really haven't had to face too many of these high-end wide receivers. JSN's been an absolute dog. He's hit 6 catches, I believe, in the last 5 games before the playoffs. The San Francisco game, I don't really count because they were 41-6. I expect this game to be a little closer than that. At least I hope so. Hopefully it's not an Eagles repeat thing of last year, but he gets there on those. So I'm excited for a close game. I think JSN's obviously, got to be that main focal point here for Seattle to make sure we feed him the ball. So I really like the spot. -130 was a lot better odds than I expected. So I'll be playing this one pretty big.
Yeah, we were texting earlier today, and I'm on the same page. I was looking at the same thing because for me, I think May rushing is the best parlay piece in this game because it's kind of interesting where like his regular line is really efficient now at like 38, 39. Like a good game, he can still go under. You know what I mean? But still, it makes a lot of sense that he's going to have to run in this game. And you can look at Seattle's metrics are interesting because you see a lot of people mention their league high scramble rate allowed. But they also don't mention that they then do have the second like best EPA per play on those scrambles. So like they've actually been pretty good. Like they allow scrambles, but they've been pretty good at not letting them get like beat super badly in terms of explosives. They have great tackling secondaries. But what I think makes it so interesting is we know they play 2 high shells a lot, right? We know they're in more conservative zone defenses. And for Drake May, it's even more important that you stick to those principles because where May targets more than anyone else when he's on the run or when he's out the pocket, out the pocket. Sorry, just making up what you're trying to say. Is he's hitting these deep corners, right? That's kind of his special ability, downfield passing, hitting these deep corners. So when you're a safety, you have to be, or even a secondary, like a cornerback in zone, you have to be even more aware that that's a possibility. And obviously they're going to be coached up. They have 2 weeks. Like they know that taking away those deep throws on the move are essential. So you're going to have May one-on-one against linebackers. Like you're going to have some good opportunities to break some runs. I don't know if they're going to be the 20-yarders or he has the longest run of the postseason, but I do think he's going to have an 11-yarder or a 12-yard. You know what I mean? Some good scrambles in there. I wouldn't be surprised even with the shoulder if we get a designed run early, once again, to make them respect the quarterback rushing game. Obviously a designed run is what won them the game last time out as well. Like he's just been great on the ground and it's a tough passing matchup. So I do like the May rushing a lot as like a parlay piece. And then obviously JSN, I mean, in non-blowout games, like we're talking like 90% hit rate. You know what I mean? The misses are the games where they've won against Max Brosmer, who turned it over 85 times, and against Brock Purdy in the playoffs when that game was over after a quarter and a half, So at the end of the day, if we expect a somewhat competitive game, I think JSN goes over. It's not as simple as that, but it feels like it with how he's been playing this year. And you can't just shadow him, right? You can't just put Gonzalez there and say one-on-one. He had 3 targets when he lined up out of the backfield last week, including that touchdown. Like he's going to be everywhere. And he's going to find advantageous matchups at some point or another. And I wouldn't even be surprised if the screen game was even bigger here. He hasn't been super screen heavy this year because he's busy cooking dudes 40 yards down the field. But hey, it's going to be a little tougher in this one, especially with the blitz. I wouldn't be surprised if they had a designed screen or 2 for him.
Yeah, I think you guys covered most of everything that I was going to touch on. If we're classifying blowout as 15 plus points, he's over in 11 of 12 games. And the one he missed was Arizona, where they ran it 32 times. I don't think they're going to do that against the Patriots. So JSN, it's just been so good this season. And the only concern outside of blowout would be, Christian Gonzalez is really good. But then they've been so genius at scheming JSN to avoid getting shadowed. And now you give him an extra week to do that. And it's like, it kind of alleviates any of that concern.
Yeah, Kubiak's going to be in his bag, bro, right before he's about to get moved over to Vegas. So he's going to put on a show. He's going to come on with something crazy, something cool. And obviously, hopefully, he can do some stuff out there in Vegas because obviously we're, pretty big Seattle fans here. From the beginning of the year, they made us a lot of money in that futures market. So hopefully he can continue to put on a show here for us. Let's go through a quick recap. We'll recap all three, and then if any of you guys have questions, I see we got still about 90 of you guys in here live with us. We appreciate you joining us on your Wednesday afternoon, and you can drop them in the comments. We'll make sure we get to those quick before the show is over. I'll start with you, Stu.
Sounds good. We're going with the ugly under to start things out. We got Kayshon Boutte under 2.5 receptions, -135.
Awesome.
I got Kenny Walker over 2.5 receptions. The run game is just going to be too good defensively, and they're going to have to get Kenny Walker involved in a different way. It's going to be in the pass game.
I love it. Love it. And I'll be rolling with Drake May, 25 rushing plus JSN, 6 catches at -130. Any final thoughts, gentlemen? Any final thoughts here before we drop out of here today? Anybody got anything?
I'm curious if Dr. Profits looked at any long shots here. Are you a long shot guy for this? Because we haven't gone super deep into it yet. We have a Friday one where we might put some more BS out there. Not to say long shots are BS, but I'm curious if there's anything you've been eyeing up in that department.
Yeah, the one that I've eyed so far is Rashid Shaheed rushing yards ladder, because he gets involved in the jet sweep. He's fast as hell. They like to use him that way. The Patriots, small sample size, it's like 11, 12 attempts against them on the season, but have been horrendous against them. I think 9 or 10 of them have gone for 3+ yards. 5 of the 11 have gone for 10 or 20+ yards. And a couple of them didn't, only because it ended in a touchdown that couldn't go any further. So they've been using Rashid Shaheed like that. I think he's had a rush attempt in 5 of 8 games with Seattle. Most of them have been recent. So they use him like that, which we've seen them do in a matchup like this, could break one away. And I think he's had a couple with 2 attempts. So if we get 2 chances at a big one, it could be nice.
What's the odds on that for 10 yards there?
I think it was +164 last I checked, and then you can get 20+ for like +500. But let me double check.
Yeah, I'll make sure I put that on the screen. I'll make sure I get so at least we can take a screenshot after with a smile on it.
+168 for 9.5, +447 for 19.5.
Nice. Stu, any long shots for you in this one? I know you're a Shaheed guy as well.
Yeah, well, I was going to say with Shaheed, too, I was honestly just looking at touchdown for him, right? Because, he obviously has the deep ball. He has the end around. He has the creative rush game usage. And then he's got special teams, right? They lead the league in special teams touchdowns as well. So it's like he's kind of the dark horse. And on our Monday show, I was even saying I don't even hate like a Super Bowl MVP kind of like super crazy, like shot in the dark. If it's a very defensive-oriented game and let's say maybe a 50-yard bomb or a freaking punt return touchdown is the deal breaker, I could see Shaheed. I feel like Shaheed's kind of the clear long shot guy in this game too, just in general when you look at it too, because even when you look at all the matchups, right? If there was one like receiver matchup outside of JSN, it would probably be when Rashid Shaheed gets Carlton Davis. Because Davis is great at disrupting at the line of scrimmage. He's a veteran. Davis is just good. Like, he's just a net good player. He's not fast anymore, though, right? And when you're gambling at the line of scrimmage and being more aggressive, like, Shaheed one step beat you. It could be just a race at that point to the end zone. And, Davis isn't going to catch up. You need some safety help there. So, like, I could see the touchdown definitely being where I go for Shaheed in this one. But honestly, I don't have a lot of long shots. The real ones are going to be even crazier than Shaheed. Super Bowl MVP. I already told you I like Christian Gonzalez, Super Bowl MVP as well. So, we'll have some crazy stuff, but I don't really have much bet. Just AJ Barner touchdown count at +240. I
was literally looking at that too, but I might be, I think it counts. I was looking at it as well after we talked about it a little bit there. +240. Yeah, not too bad.
It's funny though, because I don't want to step on your toes, but I like all the rushing guys. Like, I don't just like, obviously I like Sheed. I bet it last week. I kind of failed, unfortunately, but I like the angle there. Once again, JSN lined up out the backfield more than Shaheed did last week. And JSN is +300 for just 1 yard, right? So it's like plus 300, I think is pretty solid. And then AJ Barner plus 116 for 1 yard. Where is he going to go in? It's going to be the tush push, right? Which they've been successful in all but one attempt. The problem though with the tush push is they get to 4th and 1 and 3rd and 1 at like the lowest rate in football. It's like bottom 5. So because they're explosive as hell, so it's kind of like we don't get to as many of those chances. And McDonald actually hasn't gone for it a ton this year either. So that's Barner's probably my least favorite of the 3, but I like both JSN and Shaheed at plus money out of the backfield, honestly, especially with Walker having such a brutal matchup. Like you got to get in your bag at some point, and this is the day to do it, I think.
Stu, I think what you just said kind of little fire in my head about maybe taking little kicker props. Maybe I might be taking some Jason Meyer props now that we're not going for it on 4th. I kind of like that. Cameron Dicker's been a staple on the show, making money on long shots. I might be looking at Jason Myers. I wish they didn't go from like 10 to 13. That's kind of nasty work to have me have to bet 13 points for him at plus 500. But I don't mind like 3 field goals at plus 210, 215. I definitely can see that. He's been obviously automatic. That might be something I look into. That might be something I start betting there just because we've had success with long shots on these kickers.
Only way to be less popular than me at the Super Bowl party with my unders is you bringing in your fucking kicker props, right? Whenever
and defensive props. We want tackles, baby. We want tackles.
Everyone there is sweating. Freaking one guy's got Bobo touchdown. One guy's got, defensive lineman touchdown. And you're here rooting on every incomplete pass, right?
Yeah, hey, 4th and 5. Take a intentional grounding, bro. I want that 4th and 17. I know Jason's coming in and locking that thing up, baby.
Don't hate it.
Yeah,
That's a field goal, dog. Yeah, I don't know if I'm betting that.
It'll happen. It'll be on the card for sure. And now I'm gonna have to bet that in defensive props. I got to make up over half my card now. I'm gonna have to just do it just to be different, right? We got just to be a little different on it. So, we are signing off. Stu, anything else to the people before we head out?
Well, I guess the final long shot I will mention, because you just reminded me of it now when you said defense, I like Christian Barmore sack at plus 330 is the best price in market. I had that last week. He got it. When you look at interior pressure is where Seattle struggles the most. Barmore and Milton Williams are both fantastic there, but Barmore, you're getting like double the price. And he's great. So I like that spot. Just you remind me when you said defense, honestly. But yeah, this show rocked. I mean, you got some good props out there. It's obviously great to have Dr. Profit on here. If you don't know him already, make sure to go follow him over on Twitter. Some great data analysis, data-driven stuff as well. And hey, I mean, we got the fucking Wizards rebuild ending live on the fucking show. Like, I couldn't be more excited. Like, I mean, we got a Wizards fan and we got a Bucks fan, right? And it's the trade deadline, the biggest week of the year for NBA. And of our two teams, the one that would have the shocking blockbuster that changes everything, the fact that it's fucking me is crazy. I mean, we've been sitting here in a fucking 20-year-long rebuild. So I'm fired up. You know, we got, like you said, probably top lottery pick this year. We got AD and Trae Young. We're just going to chill, get healthy. You know, hopefully we got some good trainers. We probably got to triple the budget to the training staff going forward right here, getting some healthy options for them in the building. But hey, I'm excited, man. Wizards turning shit around. This is fun. I'm ready to be a real team. You know, we've had enough developing. Let's go.
Yeah, you made too good of a trade for you to get the luck of the lottery. You get that one pick like Dallas, bro, where you just have to just blow everything up and make it the worst trade possible. So destiny gives you the first pick, right? So you made too good of a trade. You made too good of a trade. So now you just can't get that lottery one pick. That's the only downfall of that. You didn't make a bad enough trade to get the one.
They owe us, though. They owe us after cheating for flag last year. And then we were one bounce away from Wembanyama as well. Like, they've been cheating us, man. So this is our time. This is our time. Peterson, keep load managing half these games. That's
He's
all
looked really fucking good, dude.
Last game he was
awesome.
We know you're the guy. You don't need to play the full game. Let your agent pull you at halftime. I'm cool with it. Let's get you to DC, bubble wrapped, healthy and good, and we need a lot of bubble wrap now that we got fucking Davis too. So I'm ready to go, man. This is exciting.
Shea apparently is injured now.
Oh, maybe he's getting traded for Giannis. Boom, drop it.
Yeah. Well, I saw I think they just got Jared McCain. Just went to the Thunder.
Dude, what? Oh my God!
And now, yeah, Shea's out for 2 weeks. So.
Oh wow.
Dude, what?
That means Jared McCain's their best. He's gonna have to be playing out there. He's gonna have to get those minutes. So
Oh, AJ Mitchell might be back, so he's about to take 17 shots tonight.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Jesus.
Wow. Okay. All kinds of bombs today. All kinds of bombs.
Dude, you should if you go on Underdog NBA and look at what the updated return is for Luka that the Mavs got. It's like a fucking page, dude. It's like
Oh,
look
God.
how long that is, dude. Look how long that is. That's how long what they got for him. And yeah, it's just
It's not even
well,
good.
not even
it makes it
close.
look good.
Not
Yeah.
even close to what it should be.
I was gonna say any list that involves Malachi Branham and Marvin Bagley as like your pros are like, well, I don't know about that. Like we've got hopefully Bagley in the offseason comes back to DC. We sign him again for another 10 years, and we trade him at the deadline. That would be 3 years in a row. We've already done it twice. So Bagley, he maybe we should retire his number. Honestly, he's done good for us. I don't know.
Yeah, that interior for Dallas, what is it? Is Gafford who fouls at an elite rate? Bagley down there don't play any defense. It's just gonna be hack a city down there, bro.
And probably both injured half the time as well. I thought Gafford
Lively gets his 20 minutes and he fouls out too. So just
Najee Marshall's probably getting traded soon too.
Yeah, he made me some money this year. He's been good to me. So I got a little soft spot for Najee, bro.
He made me at the start of the season. I kept betting his under threes for like the first 8 games of the season until he started shooting them more than once a game.
Those are always fun. I've been betting the NBA again now, and I'm like fired up again because NFL, it's awesome because it's once a week, so you get a lot of time to think about it and overthink. The NBA is like you got a new puzzle every night. You got 15 guys ruled out. You got one guy ruled out that's then ruled back in, but it's not actually going to play. Like this bit people complain about, but it's awesome for betting. Like it's so fun. So
did you see the stuff with Nurkic yesterday?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
That was hilarious. And then he didn't play.
No, it was great.
He was ruled out. Then the trade happened. Then they're like, okay, actually, Nurkic is active today. And then everybody got pissed and then just never played. It made no sense.
Great, because they needed him to be active to meet the minimum requirement of players to suit
up.
They
had to have enough players.
I didn't think about that.
So and they've done that.
They needed 8 players.
So like there was proof. So I had Filipowski 30 PRA, 600 double, 300, 14 rebounds, 350. Like because if he might just miss all his regular numbers, but if he's the only center, just play all the fucking alts. Like shit like this doesn't happen in the NFL, And if it did, if there was a guy questionable to the last second, they would just not line him. Like we already know that from the NFL. They'd just be like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like good luck. Backups, we don't care. Like we make enough money already. But NBA, they're giving it to you. So that's why I love the NBA. It's whack.
I'm looking at the minutes. 48 minutes. Collier,
minutes.
Laurie somehow still only played 27. There's only 7 guys that logged a minute in this game. That's hilarious.
And I think they needed 8 active, but Nurkic was active, just didn't step on the court.
You're telling me they don't got a G League guy they can just bring up for a game?
So
they just sent out Walter Clayton and all those guys, right? They just sent
G League plays in some shit state. I forget what it is. No offense to anyone out there, but so the only direct flight, according to the beat reporter, was at 10:15. The only direct flight at night. So it would need a private jet essentially to get Tanji, I believe, is the player that they would have to
Badger. That's Bucky right there. That's Badger. Don Tanji.
The beat reporter just went, I don't think he's private jet worthy. And that was the case. They didn't give him a private jet. So that would have been, owner would have to spend a couple of 20 grand or something like that. He didn't want to do that. He's let Collier get his 22 assists. Why not?
That would have looked exactly like what the Badgers looked like last year, bro. Just John Tanji, 20 fucking shots, dude. That's all. Pretty much what it was last year.
No, wait. Their G League affiliate played at home the night before in Salt Lake and play at home today in Salt Lake.
But from what I saw, according to the beat reporter, when he responded to some gambling guy at like 4 p.m., he was like the only flight left post-trade or whatever was like a night flight from Salt Lake. Or I guess you could drive. Was it a road game or a home game for the team?
Oh, look.
It might have been in Indiana, right? Maybe that's what it was.
Utah was on the road at Indy, and it was
okay. I'm thinking, I don't know why I thought they were at home.
And it was an early tip, too, which really fucked you.
No, that makes a lot of sense then. Because I was like, Utah's in Salt Lake, the G League's in Salt Lake. What's the problem? I don't know why you need to fly. That makes way more sense.
Hey, that Utah to Indiana private jet would probably be expensive. Who the fuck is doing that route? Like nobody.
Nobody's going to Indiana.
But hey, that's why I like the NBA. You know, you get bullshit. Like, and you can bet on it. You know, like you can make, and you'll fail. But if you have good sense, I think you can win more than not. But NFL never gives you anything like that.
No.
Hey, well, we appreciate 100 of you guys still in here with us 50 minutes in. We'll kick it over to you, Will. Tell the guys where they can find you. Obviously, we want them all to make sure they go pop over to your stuff and check you out.
Appreciate that. So you guys can see my tag on the screen at Dr. Profit on Twitter and then the Dr. Profit on Instagram and TikTok. My main one is Twitter. And then relevant to the show, I'm also working on a sports research website called MC Analytics. It's kind of like some other stuff you've seen like Props.cash and Outlier, but has all the advanced stats that they don't have. So I think if you're listening to this show, you're a little sharper, you know about those advanced data, it might be a little bit more useful to you. But that's all I got for you guys.
Awesome. Well, we love to hear it. We appreciate all of you guys popping on here. Shout out to our guest, Dr. Profit, joining us for Super Bowl week. We will be back Friday. That's a fun show on Friday. We got to talk about all these crazy ass bets, all the novelty props, all the crazy ones. We'll be here ready to go normal time on Friday, talking some novelty ones. So we'll see you then, guys. Best of luck on all your bets if you're playing tonight, and good luck.